He's a vegetarian breather. Only breathes out the breath breathed out by herbivores or others of their ilk. He's particular. Me, I'm an insect breath breather. I like it to have been sucked beneath a swarm of exoskeletons. Extruded by the miracle of spiracles. That's my domain. There's a subclass of breathers whose respiration centres around criminals convicted of heinous crimes. They do circular breathing, like jazz musicians. Rough it up their lips like blues harpists. Nonsense. I hope they fucking hyperventilate. They're not my people. Mine is the clan of the insect breath breather. Insect breath breathers tend to be mathematicians. Or they tend to be me. Night's long. List goes on. Stay put. Listen. Politician breathers. Politicians breathe in each other's breath at PM's question time. Like submerging seals, they shut their nostrils with flaps of skin like nasal eyelids. Then up they bob for their air next PM's question time. Best avoided. And another thing. Bloke says to me, "What you got there then?" To which I replied, "A selection of donated tongues, preserved in such a manner as to retain their moisture, their suppleness. Tin of tongues. You throw them through the air and they create a recognisable sound. Chuck a handful in a gust, you get words coming at you like paranoia's chorus. Drop them through when you're skydiving and you get a choir of angels clogging up your parachute." The night's long, and the list is bleeding endless, to be honest. Out-of-body experiences. Having one now. Only just got up, bleeding alarm clock. Out-of-body experiences, me and my doppelgangers. I don't need cloning, mate. I'm fucking everywhere. I'm the goblin who cares for the things that no one thinks exist. You should read my mission statement. I'm a goblin, modern goblin, dispersed amongst you, lost sight of. We use Linux, very particular. We use highlighters to light our way. We hold our highlighters up on our sojourns down the tunnels of our ancestors. A bus is a tunnel to us. I don't need a ticket to ride, it's a tunnel. Sometimes I take my pickaxe and dig the tunnel deeper so the bus is longer next night when you board it. And there's us goblins, sat strategically, holding up our highlighters, lids off, brightening the interior. A bus is a tunnel. A bicycle is open cast mining. Shall I tell you what I did, me and my feminine side? I wanted children. So I adopted 3 toilet signs. The homunculus kind, you know, first the baby changing room sign and its 2 older siblings, the brother and a sister. Didn't want to split them up. We take them out in a stylised stroller, a flat back triangle, apex to the floor. We show them where those people came from who were always pushing past them for a wee and a poo. Made me own people, bred them from toilet signage. Gave them animal stencils, just outlines passing over landscapes, arts and crafts. Flat world overshot with glue. I blame blunt scissors. Then we purchased bedtime storybooks. Aliens and Underpants. Very popular, very educational. We like to prepare kids for the real world, right? Aliens and Underpants for kids. Ready for the grown-up world of aliens and anal probes. Gentle introduction. Indicates the alien zone of interest. At least aliens aren't paedophiles. Let me say, le lieu is the Inuit word for cultures that have 3 words or less for snow. And are you a pill popper? Pills are called after nipples, which they closely resemble. Pill popper. Advent. Every year we celebrate a stranger tapping on this woman's window and mouthing through the glass, "You've just been inseminated." She goes, "I'm on the pill, try number 27. Bleeding cheek of it, pill popper, lest we forget. Better to adopt. I followed a bloke off the bus. We was carrying our highlighters, so he was well lit. He was being surreptitious to the best of his ability. He had no ability. We goblins followed him. Highlighters aloft. We liked his style. Whole clan of us keeping up the rear, eyes on the man, and he stops by a prison and he lays his hands against the brick and leans right in, and he turns into a conservatory. Turns out that's what he does. He turns into a conservatory and attaches himself to inappropriate buildings. He's a serial conservatory. Attached to buildings that should never have a conservatory. Crypts, abattoirs, police stations and barracks. So he smashed his windows. Every one. Buckled his struts. That'll learn him. Next thing I know, I'm on a bus, letting out bubbles. At night, the freshwater stream near my childhood home jams like a zipper. I bet yours does too. Tell you what, my belly button is enormous. My belly button is so big, my doctor's diagnosed me as acoustic. Sometimes I fold up my toilet signage children till they're very small and crumple them up, tiny, and I stuff them in me giant navel, bed them down in the ample fluff I always find there, and let the thud, thud, thud of my biological process lull them to sleep. Actually, they hibernate there for 6 months at a time, which saves a bomb on babysitters. What you need is a good... What you need is a good... What you need is a good... I'm the goblin that cares for the things that no one thinks exists, like mass graves. So, glass slippers and a glass ceiling. Glass slippers and a glass ceiling. I'd call that double glazing, wouldn't you? And if I was the snow queen, I'd make making snowmen fucking illegal. It's a blatant misuse of resources. Story time. Her grey hair, still wet from the shower, was combed out across the table like a thready plate and loaded with caviar. She was a palmist and played the piano with her hands turned knuckle down. It was less expressive than the conventional way, but you'd always know what she would be doing 5 minutes hence. A man went into the garden of paradise and broke wind. "You've been eating something you shouldn't have," said God. "Have an apple, it's good for the digestion," said God, picking a particularly rosy one from the top branch and chucking it over. "I'd call that a result," said the man. "Nice trousers," said God. Could set a trend. And God had a recording angel called Hashtag, born a she-bag and he shag, but no, I digress. So, I'm a goblin in the bread queue at Mass. And I'm wondering, how many calories in the transubstantiated body of God? Weight Watchers knew fuck all when I rang them. So I worked it out for myself. Okay, here's how you calculate it. What was the BMI at death? How big's the portion you're being offered? Remember, it's dry weight and adjust the calculation accordingly. Eat it while it's still bread. If it exceeds your calorific quota, just skip it from the plate before the bell rings. Sing, bread of heaven, list the ingredients, Corpus Christi, self-raising mystery loaf. I like mine ready sliced, thick and perfect for toast. Yeah. Speaking of toasting, yeah. Where did most of the population of Hiroshima and Nagasaki go in August 1945? Nuclear explosions. We goblins are adept at dodging between the blast and the gamma rays, like midges flitting between raindrops, like ants wending between the wide-spaced radio waves in microwave ovens. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Understand the non-linear nature of shock waves. When the blast wave comes from an airburst, reaches the ground, it's reflected. Below a certain reflection angle, the reflected wave and the direct wave merge and form a reinforced horizontal wave called the Mach stem. Oh, you've got to watch out for the Mach stem. But let me introduce you to the Honshu wolf, which is more than a match for the Mach stem. The Honshu wolf. Honshu wolf. As Japanese as the rising sun. August 1945. Static overpressure and the Mach stem met the wolf's jaws, which, when locked, exerted a greater pressure than the Mach stem and all its fucking swaggering, sweltering, sidelong, radiating glory. The Honshu wolf is hidden from view, but its environment, nature hides it. There it is. On the mountain. Where? There. Where? There. There it is. Where? There. Where? There. There. It's on the streets of Hiroshima. Where? There. Where? There. There it is on the streets of Nagasaki. Where? There. Where? There. Where? There. And Honshu wolves held Hiroshima and Nagasaki between their jaws. Held them. Held them. Held them. Holds them still. The populace of both cities carrying on as best they can inside the wolves' mouths. Their glasses of sake are full, but that half is floating to the top. Open the Honshu wolves' jaws and they're mottled like a dog's. Unlike dogs, these mottles are Manspangles. The flare of the star and its sooty shit. The Man-Spangled and his sooty shit. The woman-spangled and her sooty shit. The child-spangled and their sooty shit. And the Honshu wolves are waiting to unannihilate the next until humankind's ablaze between a wolf's jaws, held like spangled meat. Here are the Honshu wolves now. Where? There. Among you. Now. Bomb breathers. Breathing the breath of bombs. Mouths full of human spunk.